Hi, this is a review of this little AWOW tablet slash mini laptop combo. There's a lot of these little devices out right now, and there's a lot of keyboards that are available that you can use with things like your iPads or your Android tablets. The thing that makes this interesting, as you can see from the little logo, Intel inside, is that this is actually able to run Windows 10, and it is running Windows 10 right out of the box. So you pop that thing open. Basically, here you've got a 10.1 inch tablet combined with a little bit of a keyboard. You put them together. You can use the keyboard. You take them apart. You don't. I pulled up the Windows 10 About page here just to give you these stats on this thing. It is running Windows 10 Home. It is has 2 gig installed RAM, and the processor is an Intel Atom CPU, a Z3735F, running at 1.33 gigahertz. So for a small little tablet, it's got a heck of a lot of power. For something running Windows 10, as somebody that I've tested out, I've had an iPad for quite a while. I've tested out iPad minis. I've had a bunch of Android tablets that ran in the $50 range to $100 range and was never really super satisfied with them. Didn't think there was a whole lot of peppiness to a lot of them. So I wasn't expecting a lot, especially at the $159 price point. And I have to tell you, I'm amazed at what this thing can do. At a 10.1 inch screen, it's really, for me, right about the right size. Now, I've got freakishly large hands. I'm 6'6", but this really, to me, is a fairly comfortable tablet to be able to hold in my hand, to be able to do internet surfing. We can open up a browser here to do internet surfing, for reading PDFs, books, things like that on the unit. It all is just a very comfortable experience. As you can see, we're pulling up the Amazon homepage here. Let's see here. They want us to shop women's dresses. I don't know why. I don't really wear women's dresses, but sure, why not? And you can see, like a tablet, you can move up and down the screen. Everything is very peppy. You click on an outfit there, and it's opening up the other page. Basically, it's a very fast little tablet. And the thing that I like, the fact that it can run Windows applications, is that it makes it a lot easier for me to customize things. I'm not a big programmer, but there are programs like for Windows 10, hotkey programs, for example, to where you can set up scripts and have things automated. I was already familiar with how to do that on my desktop. So now I installed that here, and everything works absolutely great. Using my password managers, everything that you would expect for Windows 10 to be able to run, I've been able to run it here. Now, granted, I use Photoshop. I'm not going to try to use this for editing, for running huge programs like Photoshop that are very resource hungry, or for editing videos. I know this is not going to perform that well for doing that. But for viewing pictures, it's great. For watching things like Netflix, there's a caveat here because there is a big difference in the quality that you're going to get using things like Netflix or the MLB app. I was watching some live baseball with this and trying to do it through the browser, and it didn't seem to really make a big difference as far as what browser it was, whether it was Internet Explorer. I've tried out Chrome on here, Opera. Trying to watch video, whether it was MLB TV, whether it was Netflix, YouTube seemed to do okay, but the other ones had a stuttering problem. You were never getting a very clear picture on it. With that said, the free app store that's included here, as you would get on your normal Windows machine, the Netflix app and the MLB TV app worked perfectly. Didn't have a problem with that. Was actually amazed with the quality I was getting on there, streaming the baseball games, streaming TV shows and stuff over Netflix. Was having no problems whatsoever with the stuttering. This is a beautiful color screen, and that's one of the things that really shocked me on this one, because most of the cheaper tablets that I have tested, and I'll bring this closer to the camera here to give you an idea in a second. But most of the tablets that I've tested that were under the $100 range, and granted, this is $160, but that's also including a keyboard. These normally sell anywhere in the $30 to $50 range. But most of the cheaper tablets, if you're not looking directly head on, the color starts to fade. You almost get to a white or a black screen depending on what type of screen they're using. And this one, I'm amazed by the quality of the screen, because you can look at it at almost any angle, and I hope the camera picks this up. But let me bring this here. Now, I'm hoping that picked this up, because it doesn't matter what angle you're looking at this from, it looks awesome. Colors don't get faded out. Everything is nice and vibrant. So it's great for watching TV, because there's nothing worse than having a tablet that you have to be dead on, and you try to put it down on your desk or you're in bed or whatever, and it's off angle, and you have to, you're worrying more about keeping it dead center to get a good picture. And that really wasn't the problem, a problem at all with this device. Again, the color range, everything is absolutely cool on here. Let me pull up for you here. We installed a comic book program, Comicana. It's a free program. If you read comics, it's a pretty cool deal. And let me just pull up the Batman comic that I was testing out on here. Again, it's a really great screen size for comics. Compared to the Apple iPad, for comics, I actually like this better. I think the aspect ratio is a little bit better, and everything just seems to fit well. And it's a very snappy experience, as you can see there, as we're moving back and forth between the pages. It's there's really not a lot of lag to it at all. You can press the Windows button there. You get your Windows controls, your basic, and you can set it up into two different modes. You've got a tablet mode. Right now it's in desktop mode, even though it's detached, but you can run it in either. I was really surprised with the battery life on this. I'm getting at least 5 to 6 hours, as long as I'm not watching a ton of video. I don't see a problem getting a full day for most people out of this if you're using it for just surfing the web, checking emails and stuff like that. It's obviously Wi-Fi only. There is no internet connection or there's no cell phone connection in here. Was out at a doctor's appointment the other day in the waiting room, pulled out my iPhone, tethered it to it, and it worked magnificently. It's easier for me to say. Worked absolutely perfectly, tethering it to the iPhone's Wi-Fi. Had no problem surfing the web, and I was really expecting the battery to drain a lot quicker, but it really didn't. So I was really impressed with that. And you can do, again, anything on here that you can do on a Windows 10 machine. So any software, again, you're not going to have the power-hungry stuff like Photoshop or video editing, but within reason, pretty much anything that you run on Windows 10, you can install on here. There's a 32 gig memory card in here. There is a slot for another memory card that you can add on the side here, right on the slot right here. And the keyboard, I'm never in love with any of these small keyboards because I have big hands. But this, I really didn't feel like it was too bad. I was able to type on it fairly comfortably. There's a little bit of a little bit of resistance here to the keys, which is nice. They aren't completely mush. So if you're kind of touch typing, you do get a little bit of a tactile feedback. And I was very impressed with the touchpad and the fact of two things, really. One, it worked really well. There was never really found myself going, no, come on, I'm moving my finger, and it wasn't picking it up. And it also has, built in, instead of having to actually tap down, and you can, if you can hear this, you can actually tap down and you'll feel it click, but you can also just tap on the unit itself without having to push it down like you would one of the Apple, my MacBooks, and it will register your click that way. So overall, it does come with, it recharges by USB, and it comes with a little wall wart, which puts out 5 volts, 2 amps, which means that you can run this off of a battery pack as well, or you could recharge it off a battery pack. So if you're taking this on a long flight or, a little vacation, even if you're not going to be around power, you can bring a battery pack to keep this thing running long term, which is a really cool thing. So the things that I like the most about this is, one, it's snappy. It doesn't feel like a completely bogged down system. Even though it's, you figure an Atom processor, I wasn't quite sure what to expect running Windows 10. I think they said it was a quad-core Atom processor, and that certainly helps. The screen is probably the star here. Between the snappiness of the whole computer and the interface, those are the best things here. It's a beautiful screen. Looking at photos on this, looking at artwork and stuff, it really looks awesome, and a lot more awesome than I thought it would at, again, that $159 price point. Battery life is really good. So it depends what you're looking for in a tablet. I really like it because I'm so tied to that Windows 10 system. It's the one thing I've always hated about using Apple laptops, or hated using Android, is that I found myself looking for programs that were equivalents to ones that I run on the desktop. Now, if that's not you, you may not really need Windows 10 in a tablet, but for me, I found it to be very easy to transfer things over, very easy to get the laptop/tablet to do exactly what I wanted, and being able to use all that software, for me, was really a big plus, especially with it running as well as it did here. It's a little bit thicker when it comes to a tablet than some of them. So again, your mileage may vary. For me, it's very comfortable. It doesn't feel all that bulky. And a 10.1 inch screen. It's probably right where it should be, especially at the price point. I'm sure Apple could take a 10.1 inch screen and make it 1/3 of the depth, which really, again, still isn't that thick, and charge you 5 times the amount for it. You does come with a little pair of headphones. To be honest, I haven't tried those out. A little pair of earbuds, but there is a headphone jack here. You got your USB jack for charging. You got your volume control, your power button on the side, and there actually is, and I haven't tested this either, which I should have, and I apologize for that, but there is a frontward-facing 2 megapixel camera, rear-facing 5 megapixel camera, so you can do things like Skype and that on here. I wouldn't be expecting a great camera, but everything else has surprised me, so maybe it's better than I thought. If I can get some pictures taken with this, I will post them along with the review. If you have any questions about the device, something that maybe we didn't cover here, feel free to put those down in the comments. We do watch those, and if we can give you an answer, we will. And if we don't know the answer, we will try to find out for you. Again, this has been a review of the AWOW. It is a little laptop/tablet combo. One was provided for the purposes of this review, but that does not guarantee a good review. On this one, definitely 5 stars. Looking at the price, the battery life, the processor power, everything works nice and snappy. Definitely 5 stars. Highly recommend this one for anybody that either just wants to do web surfing, check their emails, or to get their kids a cheap and easy computer that they can use for just about anything. Definitely recommend it. I am Darren O'Neill. Thanks for watching.